Welcome back. Now, with the weather getting so nice, I'm sure there's tons of things to do this coming week.
Yep, we need to see what's going on. Rebecca Davidson has more.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Davidson. Get ready for a jam-packed Mardi Gras weekend. There are tons of great events to choose from, so listen up. How about starting your weekend off at the Times Union Center on Friday night for Diana Ross? She's performing at 8 p.m. and you can get your tickets from Ticketmaster. And stick around downtown Friday night for comedian George Lopez at the Florida Theater. If Lopez isn't quite your style of humor, then head to the Comedy Zone on Friday instead and check out Rob Schneider. Get your tickets online and he'll be hitting the stage at 8. Now if you're looking for something unique this weekend, then make your way to Jackrabbits on Friday night for the Music for Meows Benefit Rock Concert. A variety of musicians will be performing to raise money for homeless cats in the community. Tickets are available on site and the doors open at 7. Now Saturday is when the real fun begins, and Jacksonville Beach is the place to be for the Mardi Gras celebration. Everyone 21 and up is invited to buy a ticket and join the party at 8 different Jax Beach venues. So dust off your costumes and head beachside starting at 4. Now don't worry if you're underage, because the Spice International Grill and Bar is throwing a Mardi Gras party this Saturday too. With live music and drink specials, this event is open to everyone. Now if Mardi Gras isn't really what you're looking for this Saturday, then you should check out the Slightly Stupid concert at Plush Nightclub instead. Tickets are available online and at the door. Or you can make a trip to the Times Union Center on Saturday to see the one and only John Mellencamp. Tickets at Ticketmaster and the show starts at 7. Well, now you've got plenty of great events to choose from, so have a fantastic Mardi Gras weekend, and I'll see you next week with all the newest North Florida entertainment news.
Keep us busy this weekend.
Definitely. Coming up, we'll go to Sam for the latest on sports.
We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Zachary Champagne, and I'm an education graduate student here at the University of North Florida in Jacksonville. I've had very close relationships with the professors, with the community here. Being able to keep in contact with so many professors and so many classmates make me a better educator. I'm taking things into practice that are really groundbreaking ideas, things that a lot of other educators aren't doing yet. It has been an extremely positive experience throughout all of my time here. UNF, no one like you, no place like this.
Ever wondered where your water comes from? For most of us, it comes from aquifers beneath the ground. Imagine a sponge full of holes. Porous rock, sand, shell, and limestone hold water and allow it to move. Water is drawn from the ground through wells. Though rain refills our aquifers, we're using water faster than rain can replenish it. Learn how you can help conserve our water at floridaswater.com.
Welcome back. The UNF basketball season's coming to a close.
Yeah, they've done pretty well this season, both of our teams too.
Yeah, both teams are in the conference tournament.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll get to those stories and a bunch more now. The UNF women's basketball team left for Macon, Georgia and the Atlantic Sun Conference tournament on Tuesday. The 4th-seeded Ospreys faced rival Jacksonville University in the first round at noon on Thursday. The Ospreys have claimed 4th straight wins over the Dolphins, including a 50-46 win in last year's ASUN tournament. Fans can watch the game online on ASUN TV, which will be directly followed by the UNF men's basketball team's first-round matchup at 2:30. And the men's team is getting ready for their own first-round matchup against JU. We spoke with the team about their chances and what makes this year's conference tournament different from the past.
I mean, I think it's very different. We have a lot of different facets to our game now. We have a shooter like Parker Smith that can open up the floor. We got another guy who can penetrate real well, Jimmy Williams. And we have some great additions to the team, you know.
Central Florida won this thing before with a below 500 record from our league. So it's not like it hasn't been done before. I mean, it's been done. And don't forget last year, in the championship game, it was 5 versus 6. And it was East Tennessee State versus Mercer. So it isn't like it's been, you know, that the number 1 seeds or the number 1 and number 2 seeds have always dominated this tournament. That's not the case. And that's what's great about this tournament. Everybody's 0-0. So you got to bring your game. Last year, Kennesaw State was the 8th seed. They beat Lipscomb number 1. So, you know, it's just, you got to come to play.
The Ospreys have dropped 2 close games this year to the Dolphins by a combined total of 3 points, including a 1-point loss in overtime in January. As Coach Driscoll said, the ASUN tournament can often be unpredictable. UNF sports producer John Widener has the info you need to keep know how to help break down the men's bracket.
Hello, I'm John Widener, and I'm here to help you break down the 2011 Men's Atlantic Sun Conference Basketball Tournament. As UNF coach Matt Driscoll likes to say, there's a whole lot of parity in the Atlantic Sun Conference, and pretty much any team from the bottom of the league can go up against any team from the top of the league and give them a challenge any day of the week. So one thing that we're really going to be looking for when we look at the bracket behind me is how the individual teams match up against each other and how the personnel problems, how the different strategies that they use will come into play when they face each other in the Atlantic Sun Tournament. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the matchups. JU-UNF, in terms of the way that they've been playing so far this year against each other, two really close games. The first game at UNF went into overtime, and JU was able to take it on a foul shot. Second game, JU won at Veterans Memorial Arena by a last-second shot again. So a lot of drama so far this year for JU and UNF. I don't think it's going to be that way at all this year in the tournament time. I think that UNF pulls away with a really significant lead early in the first half, and they're able to hold on to it late, and they win by double digits against JU, making it to the second round. The second matchup that we're going to take a look at on the left-hand side of the bracket is the number 4 seed Lipscomb against number 5 seed Mercer. Now, at the beginning of the season, this probably wouldn't have been as interesting a game as it is right now. Lipscomb was projected by many people to be the number 1 seed in the tournament this year. However, both teams look really even, and actually in the last game of the season, Mercer upset Lipscomb at home and was able to pull away with a critical win that put them in the number 5 spot above UNF. So this game is a lot closer than most people were expecting it to be, and because of that, and also because of home field advantage or home court advantage, which I think is going to be an integral part in this tournament for Mercer, I've got Mercer taking the win against Lipscomb in the first round.
And you can check out North Florida Weekly next week to find out how both Osprey squads fared. The Osprey baseball team took on the Liberty Flames in a 4-game series last weekend in what was the first home series of the year. Casey Medlin took the mound for Friday night's home opener, and the Ospreys won 5-0. On Saturday, the two teams met for a doubleheader, and Liberty won the first game 4-2. UNF looked to play a stronger game in part 2 of the doubleheader in order to avoid getting swept on the day. In Game 2, Michael Smith led the team with 3 RBIs and a home run, going 2 for 4 on the game. On the mound for the Ospreys was sophomore pitcher Kyle Westwood, who had a strong performance, recording 6 strikeouts and giving up only 1 earned run through 7 innings pitched. 4 Osprey errors resulted in 4 runs scored for Liberty, but UNF's offense did enough to win the game, taking Game 2 of the doubleheader 8-5. On Sunday, UNF lost 9-1 in the final game, and the two teams split the 4-game series. For his performance in Friday night's 5-0 win, Medlin was honored as the Atlantic Sun Pitcher of the Week. Here's what Coach Laval had to say about his pitcher receiving the award.
Congratulations to Casey. That is something. A senior, and coming off really a subpar performance, his first outing. So he looked deep down into himself and says, I got to prove to myself and my team and the coaches in North Florida that I really am a Friday night guy.
The Ospreys open up a 3-game series at home Thursday night at 7 o'clock versus Florida Gulf Coast. The rugby team at UNF got a huge win this past weekend against in-state rival FAU. The match was held on a hot Saturday afternoon at the UNF South Intramural Fields. UNF would start the match with an early score and continue to gain momentum until the half with a score of 21-3. During the second half, UNF had countless opportunities and to stop FAU from the goal line. The game started getting close towards the end of the match, but FAU would fall short. UNF would end the game with a final score of 34-23. And if you'd like to see their last home game of the season, go to the matchup this Saturday at 2 as they will face off against the University of Miami. Well, that's it for sports. Back to you, Mary and Courtney.
Yeah, I guess good luck to the Ospreys tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a big weekend for them.
Definitely.
Thanks so much for that, Sam. Around the corner, see what students and professors have to say about the legalization of marijuana.
We'll have more on the debate right after this.
No matter what stage of life you're in, buying a home is always one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. And a licensed real estate agent, like me, should be there to guide and protect you every step of the way. Remember, only licensed real estate agents have the state-required classroom training to make sure that your interests are fully protected. After all, no matter how many homes you buy, avoiding problems never gets old. So visit myfloridalicense.com or call this number to check the status of your agent's license.
Get up to a 100% scholarship to college and up to $60,000 in assistance. Get paid to learn valuable job skills. Maybe make an extra 20 grand when you join. All while you serve your community and your country. Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Welcome back. The latest installment of Talk of the Times, sponsored by the New York Times and the American Democracy Project, was on the legalization of marijuana. Students packed in, some even sitting on the floor, to hear professors from the economics, English, and criminal justice departments discuss the issue. Economics professor Paul Mason argued for the legalization based on its potential tax revenue. Criminology professor Dan Ponser discussed the legal issue, and English professor Clark Lundberry says he's just tired of reading inspired midterms.
That somehow they can write when they're high or something like that. It rarely works. It rarely works. So I would like to advocate drug testing prior to midterm essays.
Well, that's all we have for this week's show. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on North Florida Weekly.